Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Plum High School for tonight's section matchup between the Golden Rams of Highlands and your Plum Mustangs. I'm Jake Bell, and joining me tonight are Cam Wickline, Tommy Marzina, Justina Racchini, Shane Genscher, Matt Dis, and the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Rick Barat. These are two teams looking to get back on track as Highlands is coming off a defeat at the hands of a section-leading Mars team. Plum, on the other hand, is coming off 3 straight road losses. They're hoping they will have better luck tonight on their home court.
This Highlands team is coming into tonight's matchup in second place in the section with a 3-1 record in section, 8-4 record overall. They are paced on offense by Jimmy Kuntz, a junior guard averaging 23 points a game. Don't be fooled, though. This is a balanced team with talent throughout the roster. Look for them to try to work in the paint with multiple kids over 6'5".
The Mustangs have struggled recently after starting their seasons off strong. They have lost their last 3 games and 7 of their last 8. The Mustangs are looking to turn it around tonight and have the roster to do so. This is a veteran-led group with many juniors and seniors being main contributors.
A big player for the Mustangs is Nick Killinger. Killinger is a 6'5" forward for the Mustangs. He has been hot lately with him scoring 18 and 21 points in his last couple of games. He's been breaking out this year and has become a big part of this Mustangs team on both sides of the ball. And it looks like we're going to get ready to start here as both teams trot out to midcourt.
If you guys don't notice here, number 15, Braden Foster, who's taking the tip-off here, he's currently their tallest player at 6'8".
It's not very often we're going to play a team that has a guy taller than Nick Killinger. The first basket of the game for Highlands.
It's looking like they're going full court press to start off the game.
Jimmy Kuntz is going to look to get started for Highlands. He's their best player. Going to kick it out to Braden Foster. Now going to kick it out to Carter Lai. Into the paint. Mustang's going to look to get going on the other side. A.J. Harita's going to take it up. Looking to set up the offense into Cam Moss. This layup. Now here, Highlands goes the other way. Passes it inside.
Looks like an early shooting foul there by Plum.
Yeah, looks like the foul is committed by Nick Killinger there, Jake.
Jimmy Kuntz at the line for Highlands. He's going to sink that first one. Kuntz is definitely going to be a big player for Highlands tonight. As we said earlier, averaging 23 points a game. And he's one of the best shooters in the WPIAL. He's had games where he's knocked down 5, 6, 7 three-pointers in one game, so Mustangs going to have to neutralize him if they want to win tonight. Kotvis going to take it up for the Mustangs. Passes it off to Steve Ivanchek into the paint. Over to Harita for 3, and he sinks it. Mustangs take the lead at 5-4. Highlands for 3. And they're going to hit that to take the lead back. 8-5 game with 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Both teams starting out fast so far there, Cam.
AJ Harita almost went for another 3. Now Ivanchek at the top of the key. Passes it off to Harita. Looking for something to do back off to Ivanchek. Gives it to Kotvis at the free throw line. Tries to pass in, and there's going to be a foul. That's a foul on Highlands. Now Harita for the inbound. Gives it up to Killinger. He's going to do some work in the paint. Puts the shot up and hits it. Very back and forth game now as it is tied 7-7.
Yeah, it's definitely something you want to see with the Mustangs here.
Kuntz for 3. As we said earlier, he's dangerous, so just because he missed that, I wouldn't expect him to stop shooting. He's going to take that shot every single day. Mustangs going back now. Hovanchek right around the free throw line. Gives it up to Kotvis, who's going to set the offense up. Kotvis into the paint. Tried to give it off to Cam Moss, but Kuntz got in the passing lane.
Yeah, that was a great play by Kuntz. Cam Moss was wide open for a three, and he was able to get his hand in there, make the Mustangs have to reset.
And Moss is one of the Mustangs' best players, so a wide open look like that would usually be something good for the Mustangs, so big there by Kuntz. Now as the Mustangs get going again, Kotvis off to Hovanchek. Now up to Harita at the top of the key. Now Moss out from the paint, up to the free throw line, gives it back to Kotvis. Kotvis driving. Pass a little too hot to handle for Harita.
Yeah, looks like that was a rush pass there by the Mustangs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why he was 2 feet away from Harita and decided to fire it at him, but usually when something like that goes down, it's going to result in a turnover. Kuntz looking to go to work for Highlands. Passes it off inside for an easy layup. Full court press here from Highlands. Mustang's going to try and take advantage of the numbers. Now Killinger in the paint. He's going to spot up. Missed. Now Highlands going in transition. This is a Highlands team that is not afraid to shoot it from three. It's Cam Rygaard going to work. Now passing it off to Carter Leary. Missed three by Highlands, and Plum's going to try and get it back up, but
So far, Highlands seems to be playing aggressive defense early on in this game, trying to confuse the Mustangs early with their full court press.
I'm not sure who's. Yeah, I thought that went out on a Plum player, but AJ Harita lined up to take the inbound. So Highlands looking to go on offense now with the 9-7 lead. Cam Regard now over to Jimmy Kuntz into the paint, and Harita stuffs him. Now Harita takes it back, gives it to Kotvis. Looking to drive, take the momentum, and another pass that's too hot to handle.
Yeah, it looks like the Mustangs, Adam Kotvis there, rushed a little bit to try and get that pass off. Was being covered very well on defense.
Braden Foster going now for Highlands. Passes it over to Carter Leary. Now on to Chandler Timmons at the top of the key. He's going to look to drive, but Kotvis playing good defense. Nice move there. He's going to get into score, making an 11-7 ball game. Kotvis trying to take it up now, but this half-court press from Highlands has been very good. This offense just does not appear to be on the same page with Kotvis running point right now.
Yeah, it seems to be Highlands' full court presses really confusing Mustangs so far. They're coming out a little rushed with their passes.
And they've had open looks at the basket. It's just whenever Kotvis tries to get it to them, it's either not a great pass or the person he's trying to pass to can't get a hold of it. So,
yeah, and you could see it in his frustration there too.
There's a three for Carter Leary. As we said, this Highlands team is a very good three-point shooting team. Now there's a pass that's picked off. After a couple of shots, that's going to result in a foul.
Yeah, the Highlands defense so far has caused a lot of turnovers by the Mustangs, and that's something that's been working for them.
Cam Regard's going to go to the line. Going to hit off the front rim, then back rim, and out. So it's going to stay a 14-7 ball game, and I think the Mustangs just called a timeout. Was that the Mustangs, Jake, that called it?
If I had to guess, yeah, and rightfully so. You know, they've had a few turnovers in a row. All of them have been leading to either points or fouls. So they definitely want to have everyone on the same page. And you can see Kotvis's frustration. You know, the couple turnovers that had happened. They were just trying to pass the ball and look for those easy makes there. But unfortunately for the Mustangs, now they're down 7, and hopefully they could do something to turn themselves around here.
Yeah, I think if you're the Mustangs, you want to clean up your transition game right now. A lot of those turnovers have been committed in transition when you're moving up and down the court. So I think cleaning up that will help the Mustangs here. Looks like Griffin Orsick and Sean Franzi have checked into the game.
Cam Regard going to go for his second shot. He's going to hit the second one. Sean Franzi, a guy who's made a couple starts for the Mustangs, checked in. Highlands backing off their full court press. Off to Cam Moss, into Arisic in the paint, back to Cam, and he's going to hit the layup.
That's a great play by Cam Moss, getting right in the paint and making sure he got right to the rim.
Nice little give and go between Moss and Arisic there. Kuntz carrying it up for Highlands now, passes it off to Leary. Some good passing to get a wide open shot for Braden Foster in the paint. 19-7 ball game.
Crisp passing there by Highlands. That was perfect passing by the Highlands Rams.
17-19, I misspoke there, guys. It's going to be a travel on Steve Havanchak. Highlands taking the ball up. Passes it off to Braden Foster again in the paint, and he's just been a monster down there. It's 6'8", he's very difficult to guard.
And you know, that's a pass that that's probably going to be overthrown to most people, but his 6'8" frame is able to reach over, and he was able to get that easy bucket.
Kotvis going against good defense there, had to kick it back out. Now Havanchak at the top of the key, off to Moss. Pass it off to Arisic, over to Kotvis. Now into Moss again. Moss is going to miss the layup, gets his own rebound, and is fouled on the way back up. He's going to go up for free throws.
Excellent play by Cam Moss to force that foul by Highlands and make sure he gets to the line.
It's kind of crazy how, I shouldn't be saying only, but he's only 6'3". It looks like Moss is the tallest guy on the court sometimes.
Yeah, it does appear that way sometimes, Jake, but with number 15 out there for Highlands, he's been overpowering in the paint so far tonight.
Moss misses that foul shot. Now Highland's going to look to take it up fast, but ball hits off of Chandler Timmonson's foot. Gives it off to Jimmy Kuntz, going to look to drive into the paint, and is fouled, I believe.
That's a smart foul there by the Mustangs. He was going to drive into the paint, get the layup. At least you get another chance to play defense, live another down.
In shots, Rocco Schneiderlochner as Adam Kotvis takes a seat for a second. Now Braden Foster tries to put up another shot, but Mustang's going to go out in transition. And they never really did have a great handle on that, so I wouldn't necessarily call that a turnover. Now Chandler Timmons is going to go up for shots after being fouled, attempting a layup. And checking in soon for Highlands is going to be another very tall guy, 6'7", number 35, Khalil Long. As Timmons hits that first shot.
Yeah, Highlands has so many guys out there that can abuse you in the paint with their tall frame, so they got a lot of players on their bench.
Kuntz takes a seat, but now Highlands really has the Twin Towers down there in the paint at 6'7" and 6'8", so they got some big guys. See how the Mustangs forwards can keep up. Franzi over to Schneiderlochner. And Schneiderlochner almost throws it out. And Franzi, at least the ref says he stepped out of bounds, so it's going to be Highlands' ball again.
I'm kind of surprised, Cam, that Nick Killinger hasn't checked into the game with the Twin Towers, as you described earlier, in the game now.
Highlands right now has definitely has their big lineup out on the floor. They have a guy running point at 5'10", and then they don't have a guy under 6'1" after that. Goes 5'10", 6'1", 6'3", 6'7", and 6'8". So that's a college basketball lineup. Franzi over to Schneider-Lochner. Just looking to get something going on offense, but Schneider-Lochner's going to throw that way over Steve Hovanchek's head and go out of bounds.
Something interesting to note there, Cam. 35, Khalil Long was playing up on the point on Sean Franzi on that play, something you don't always see.
No, and Khalil Long is listed as a center, so it's not like we just have a very tall guard. He does play the center position, so that is odd, as you said.
And that's very close to a foot of a difference. Sean Franzi being 5'9" and Long being 6'7".
With them being the taller guys, they're going to have to, I mean, if I was a Highlands fan, you'd hope they just play smart and let their bodies work and don't make stupid fouls like they just did. Because they're going to be able to shoot over some of these Mustangs players, but Mustangs playing good defense there. Let the Highlands guys get a little out of control and then just runs into them and gets the fouls. Cam Moss spots up for a shot. It's going to rim out. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. Highlands 20, Mustangs 10. So far tonight, I mean, obviously this is a very talented Highlands team. And they have a lot of very good players, but I think this Mustangs team does a very good job of staying in it. They just got to start hitting a couple more shots. I mean, they've had some open looks, just haven't fallen yet. But a couple hit shots, a couple passes where they don't hit off of the guy's hands. And I think we're looking at a much closer game. So if they can just make some of those changes here in the second quarter, we could be looking at a very close game going into half.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I mean, I think the turnovers have been the biggest thing for the Mustangs. You know, a couple times they're trying to inbound the ball with a full court press for the Highlands. They've been able to stop that. So I think if the Mustangs limit the turnovers, right now I think it couldn't be any more than a 5-point game maybe. So I guess we'll see what the Mustangs do here as we start the second quarter.
Yeah, and the Mustangs are by no means out of this game. Now here for the second quarter, Jake Bell's going to take over play-by-play.
Looks like we got Franzi inbounding the ball here. Koffus at the point.
Quick double there by Highlands on Kotvas.
Yeah, he was trying to drive right past them, successfully doing so.
I'm very, very surprised they're doubling Kotvas, being that he isn't the Mustangs' main scoring threat. I mean, I could see if they double someone like Killinger, Moss, or Harita when they get the ball, but I mean, Kotvas is more of a facilitator out on the court.
Yeah, I would say they're doubling Kotvas only because of his passing ability there, Cam. I think he's a great passer, and I think when you have big guys underneath to pass to, that's a good option.
And it's going to be Kuntz here with the double move, and that's gonna be a travel, they're saying. So it's going to be Mustangs ball, no points allowed, so score's going to stay 20-10.
Great defensive play by Sean Franzi to cause the travel there on their best player, Kuntz.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what went wrong there, but something didn't look right when he went up for that basket. And refs do call a travel.
And again, the full court press by Highlands.
Back to them double-teaming Franzi. I almost would think double-teaming a guy with such good passing ability like him would almost not be as good, because if once you double-team him, if he can just throw it over you, it opens up a lot of passing lanes. Because you have 4 Mustangs and 3 Highlands players, they can't stick to man, or else you have a wide-open guy. So they almost have to go into a zone when they double-team. So, I mean, it opens up a lot of passing lanes. It might not leave guys open enough for shots, but it's at least enough to get the guys' balls and then pass it off and get the offense going.
Yeah, I think for Highlands, it's making the Mustangs shoot the three. They don't have a high percentage of threes made this season, so I think if you're Highlands, you want to just try and force them into 3 situations.
And I believe it was the Highlands timeout. It's going to end in about 5 seconds after the steal by Signorella. Looks like Kuntz is back under center.
All right, good thing for the Mustangs. Now Highlands only has one absolutely massive player out on the court, as number 15, Braden Foster, did take a seat.
And the reverse layup by Long.
That was a great reverse layup by Long, who went up and under the hoop to make that great layup.
That's impressive, a guy at 6'8", having that kind of agility.
But you guys missed. That was Kuntz that made the pass. That's his second or third assist tonight. That is a hell of a pass.
Give to Kotvis. Quick double team already by Highlands. They've been doing this a lot this game. Kotvis is going to drive, going to miss the layup. Rebound by Favero.
Kotvish just absolutely ran past about 4 Highlands defenders there.
Yeah, he just used his quick speed there. Favero trying to find someone, but he's going to shoot anyway. Almost going to go in, but the rebound by Foster. Foster's going to give it to Kuntz. Larry's going to give it to Raygard. The shot by Kuntz is going to go in from deep.
That's just impressive there. He was probably 2 or 3 steps behind the arc.
Kuntz showed off his range there.
I think that's an NBA three-point there, guys.
They give to Kotvis, trying to find anything. It's going to hit off the foot of a Highlands player. It's going to stay the Mustangs' possession.
You know, in preparing for this game, I was reading something about Kuntz. As a freshman on varsity, his coach told him that the biggest thing he needed to work on was his shooting ability, and he came back as a sophomore and was even better, and came back this year as a junior and is now one of the best shooters in the Whippeal. So it's very impressive that he was able to put the work in from going to something that he isn't very good at and turning into one of the best in the Whippeal at it.
Shot by Larry is no good.
Good pass.
And that's going to be a foul. Larry with the drawed foul there.
Highlands has been very good at their passes tonight. Very crisp passes all around. They know exactly where everyone is, and they're finding them in every part of the zone.
It seems like every player on this Highlands team could be a point guard. I mean, they're able to find any open guy. It looks really smooth while doing it. They're able to make some almost no-look passes, just make them look easy. I mean, it's incredible to watch here.
I mean, yeah, just to put it very simply, we're watching a very good Highlands basketball team playing right now. And they're firing on all cylinders.
Second shot is no good. Rebound by Moss. Trying to find someone to give it to. Going to give it to Favero, who's going to give it back to Moss. Vanchik with the rebound, and the putback is good. To lower the deficit to 14. Liner's going to give it to Foster for the 3.
That was an interesting shooting form there by Foster.
Yeah, definitely a big man, you know.
Yeah, definitely a big guy.
The shot is good there.
Yeah, this game's been played at a very high pace so far, Jake. Highlands getting the ball quickly down the court here.
And Reynard almost made a very smooth layup. It's going to be Highlands' ball still.
Yeah, Highlands point guards aren't afraid to go right into the paint on every single play.
You know, the last couple of possessions, offensively at least, looks like Cam Moss is just saying that he's going to put this Mustangs team on his back. He's been the reason for the last couple Mustangs baskets that have scored.
Timon's going to find Kuntz. He's looking for the shot, but it's going to be a foul on the floor there.
Another thing I've noted throughout this game, Highlands is not afraid to take a 3, whether it's their tallest player, number 15, or Kuntz, their best shooter. They don't really care. They'll shoot all 3s they can.
And the shot by Larry is good. So that's going to be another 3 by Highlands. And I don't know about you guys, but this looks like a Highlands team playing like Syracuse play against Pitt, just making every single 3.
Cam Moss with a very nice putback there as he's responsible for another basket for the Mustangs.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Jake, you have to cover them on the 3-point line every single play. You can't play one player too far deep or they'll shoot it and they might make it on half the time, so you have to be careful and make sure you guard him on the three-point line.
Braden Foster getting lost in the bleachers going to get that ball.
It was great effort. I mean, Highlands still has the ball here, so a little bit of confusion there. Larry's going to give it to Foster. Foster's going to take it all by himself, but he's going to get stopped. Almost gets his own rebound, but Favero gets his.
Plum has the numbers.
And the shot by Moss is good. Like you said, Cam, he's been making every single shot trying to put this team on his back here.
That was a great save by Steve Ivanchik there out of bounds. I don't know if you noticed that, Jake. Great save.
This is a Mustangs team that scored their last 4 offensive possessions, and either Cam Moss put the ball in the basket or has been directly responsible for that ball going in. So Cam Moss playing very well right now.
The shot by Ivanchik almost good. Almost would have extended it there. Long pass to Timons, gives it to Kuntz. Nice layup there. Makes the score 33 Highlands, Mustangs 18. 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
And you see the height advantage there on that pass, Jake. That was a half-court heave almost, and the Highlands caught it and got it into transition quickly.
It looks like a timeout is called. You know, to me, if the Mustangs want to get back in this, they got to convert on some of their outside shots. You know, try to get it in the hands of Farida. I believe he's their best three-point shooter. You know, try to get something going to get this deficit as low as you can before halftime.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Nick Killinger, check back into the game because of the height advantage for Highlands. You want to get your tallest player on the court.
Killinger is going to stay on the bench here as they're going to go with, I believe, the 5 they had out there before the timeout, too.
Yeah, I believe you're right. We have Franzi, Kotvis, Favero, Moss, and Orisic out there.
I was expecting Killinger to come in, just like you said. They could use some height out there right now.
The give to Orisic, almost a nice layup there. Contested, but it will not go in.
Yeah, tough shot there by Orisic.
The 3 by Leinard almost takes a good bounce for him, but he's going to get his own rebound and a layup. Kristaps Porzingis type play right there. You know, get your own rebound, make the shot. Kotvis going to give to Favero. Back to Kotvis. Franzi looking to find something here. And give to Moss, who's almost going to make that shot. Finally going to get fouled after almost 3 people were on him.
Yeah, he had the whole Highlands team almost jumping on his back there to try and prevent him from making that lay-in.
Moss, if I'm not mistaken, is 1 for 2 on free throws today.
You know, with Moss having a big game here, guys, I'm almost starting to feel like we're doing that broadcaster curse that people always talk about. Last game, we talked about how Moss is a very good player for the Mustangs in the intro, and he got into foul trouble early and didn't see a lot of minutes. And Killinger had a very big game. So, you know, writing up the intro today, I was like, let's talk about Nick Killinger. He had a really big game last time we were out here, and he's played well recently. And I think he's in a little bit of foul trouble, and he hasn't seen a lot of time. And Moss is now having a very good game. So, I don't know what we're going to do.
We're going to have to start talking about alums right now that aren't playing basketball because, you know, at least we know we can't curse them.
Either way, it's nice to see that the Mustangs do have multiple playmakers on their team that are good enough to take control of the game like both of them have.
35, Cleo Long checks back into the game for Highlands.
Kotvis going to try to steam past defenders.
Almost an over and back there.
The attempt to Moss gets broken up. They're going to give it to Kuntz. He's going to give it to Long, who's going to make the layup.
He was wide open in the paint there at 6'8". I mean, that's about as much of a gimme as it gets.
Fran's going to give it to Favero, who's going to put up the shot. Just misses there. And Kuntz is going to run the offense again. Look to make 2 men miss. And that looks to be a foul. Kuntz going to be on the line here.
Kuntz went storming down the court there to try and get the lay in there. Great play by Kuntz to draw the foul.
First shot by Kuntz is good. It's going to extend the lead to 18, so Highlands has 38, Mustangs 20. A little less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Second shot is no good, but Long is going to get the rebound. The gift to Kuntz is going to be another foul.
Jake, that was one of the craziest passes I've seen by a big man behind his back, right to number 1, Kuntz. That was one of the craziest passes I've seen.
And you could tell Highlands is very well coached. I mean, those aren't passes you see from just any WPIAL team there. Franzi's going to get the rebound off of Kuntz's miss. Almost a travel, but was able to keep his footing. Shot by Moss, almost good, but Long gets his rebound. Kuntz is going to give it to Larry. Larry's going to try a drive. And that's going to be a foul on the floor, I believe by Highlands, so Mustangs gets the ball here.
Yeah, Khalil Long there with the foul. Looked like it was a blocking foul though there on the screen he was trying to put on Cam Moss.
They're going to try to give it to Franzi, but Leinart's going to get it. That's going to be another foul shot for Highlands. Didn't even look like the Mustangs had a full possession before the Highlands are back on the line here.
Highlands in these last 30 seconds have really taken advantage of the fact they're in the bonus.
The first shot by Raygard is no good.
So now that they're in the bonus, they'll be headed to the line on those fouls committed by the Mustangs.
Second shot does take a lucky bounce there as it goes in. The give to Beckner. Double team quickly. Franzi's going to give it to Ivanchek. The aggressive defense by Highlands seems to work. I mean, they've been causing turnover after turnover, something you don't really see by the Mustangs.
Yeah, and that attributes to that great defense Highlands has been playing all game long.
Tavares is going to give it to Long. Another good pass to Raygard. He's going to miss it there. He's going to get his rebound to give to Long.
That was almost, an above highlight reel play there. That was a very nice pass.
The Vanchek's going to try to find Moss. But it is going to be stolen by Highlands. So they're going to get the ball back again.
That was a great play by Khalil Long again. Not afraid to use his body and get on the floor to chase after those loose balls.
Feels like in this last 2 minutes of at least game clock time, the Highlands have had the ball just the entire time. I think the Mustangs might have had the ball maybe 10 seconds in the last 2 minutes.
Tavares is looking for the layup, gonna miss it there, but Long again with the rebound. And after multiple putbacks, it looks like the last one is not gonna count, it seems, as he got fouled.
Highlands just dominating on the offensive glass right now.
So Tavares is on the line here, and his first shot is going to be good. It's going to extend the lead to 20, so now Highlands 40, Mustangs 20 with 21.5 seconds to go in the first half.
And it seems like, depending on which team controls the rebounds, that's the team that's going to control the game. As Plum last time against Indiana controlled the boards throughout most of the game. They controlled that game. Highlands controlling this one with a lot of rebounds.
And as if Highlands needed more help rebounding the ball, in checks in Braden Foster again. One of the two just massive humans on their team.
That's a great save by Franzi, great hustle. They're going to say he's out of bounds.
Great hustle play by Franzi, though, to chase after that loose ball after an errant pass. That was a great play by Franzi and try to keep it in.
And so much height difference on the Mustangs team. You know, you have guys 6'3" and you have guys maybe 5'8". It's going to be tough to make some of these passes here.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, Kuntz is just so fundamentally strong, as that half-court shot is no good. And we do end the first half, Highlands 43, Mustangs 20. What do you guys have to say about this game? What do you think the Mustangs need to do in the second half to try to get back in this game?
I mean, it's going to be very tough because, in my opinion, I think the Mustangs just need to start dominating on the offensive glass, or at least stop getting dominated on the defensive glass, I guess would be a good start.
Yeah, and I think
Just
I think for Highlands, Cam and Jake, they've been dominating the boards. Probably one of their game plans coming in. Make sure you dominate the boards. Make sure you get pressure. And 35, Khalil Long, I've been impressed with all night. He has been incredible at passing, and he's just been a fun player to watch all night long.
Yeah, I know that this Highlands team definitely has a height advantage on the Mustangs, but right now they're just getting dominated on the rebounds. So if the Mustangs want to have a chance to win this game, they're going to have to go into halftime and really come out here with the mindset that they're going to get every ball, every missed shot.
And, you know, I think the biggest strength of Highlands, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a strength, but I really feel like they're very well coached. I mean, you could see some of the plays they make. Sometimes they look like, you know, some college players out there, you know, like the passes they make, I just think are incredible. And in the form with their three-point shots, I mean, they seemingly go in almost every time. And you have to credit the coaching staff along with the players' determination and work ethic. I mean, I really think that they've been doing really well. And I just think the Mustangs need to limit the turnovers. I think that's the biggest thing. But other than that, do you guys have any other things you want to say before we go into halftime?
For the second half, I'm just hoping we're seeing some better ball by the Mustangs.
All right, so that concludes the first half. Highlands 43, Mustangs 20. All right, as the players get back on the court, we are about to start the second half. If you guys didn't hear me before, Highlands have 43, Mustangs 20. And I really think if the Mustangs can reduce the turnovers, they can really get back in this game. We're going to give it off to Cam to do play-by-play in the third quarter.
Mustangs are going to start the half. Goff is going to look to take it up. Ball's going to hit off Kova's foot, and it's going to be an easy layup for Highlands.
That's not a great start there for the Mustangs. You don't want to commit an early turnover in the second half like that. Got to get back into it.
Kova's into the paint now. That's going to be another turnover. Not a great start for the Mustangs.
Another rush pass there by Koppis. We've seen that a little bit tonight with the defenders hounding him. As we said, he's been doubled a lot on those plays, so he's been rushing a little.
Yeah, and they've been doing a lot of quick double teams too, been causing a lot of pressure.
Not sure what the call was there, but some sort of foul on Highlands. Going to be Mustangs ball.
And again, they're going to go full court press. Kind of shocking with 25 points of a lead here.
I think they're just going to stick to their system. If it's working, they're not going to fix it at all.
Franzi had a bit of a lane there, but chose to pull up. Off to Vanchek, now back to Franzi. Now off to Moss on the near side of the court. Moss trying to get around his defender. He's going to hand it off to Vanchek, who's going to get it into the paint, put up a shot. It's going to rim it out. Highlands going to head back in transition now. Now Carter Leary is going to look to set up the offense, pass it off to Chandler Thimmons. Going to try and get into the paint. Now Jimmy Kuntz has it at the top of the key. Gives it off to Carter Leary, back to Kuntz from deep. And he's going to sink that to make it a 48-20 Highlands lead.
Something else to note, the Mustangs have been playing zone for the most part of this game, while Highlands has been playing man so far.
And again, Kuntz from deep. I mean, that's a second shot from beyond the arc, So definitely impressive game by him so far.
Nice pass there by the Mustangs as Moss gets an easy shot and puts the layup in. Kuntz coming back up the court now for Highlands. Thimmons into the paint. Tried to pass it off to Braden Foster there, but ball went out of bounds. Going to stay Highlands ball.
And that was a great play by Moss. You know, he's one of the taller guys on this Mustangs team. He's able to use his big frame to cause Highlands to kind of lose a lane there.
Inbound pass to Braden Foster, and he just uses his sheer size to shoot it over the already very tall Nick Killinger. Franzi taking it up the court for the Mustangs, passes it off to Kotvis. Over to Vanchek. Vanchek over to Moss in the corner, now back. Over to Kotvis. Kotvis surveying. Gives it into Moss into the paint. He's going to put up a hook. It's going to hit the back rim and go out. Now Thimmons brings it up for Highlands. Loses the control a little bit, but Highlands throwing it around the perimeter a bit. Now Braden Foster into the paint. And that's going to be an and one on a very nice play by Braden Foster.
Great play by Braden Foster. Just shows that Highlands has many guys that can throw in the paint to get easy lay-ins like that.
Braden Foster's going to miss that free throw shot.
Highlands still playing their full court press. They've been playing all game long, even with a 30-point lead here in the third quarter.
Yeah, still want to cause those turnovers here.
Highlands bringing the ball up the court now. passes it over Arisic to Braden Foster for another layup, and that's going to make it 54-22, Highlands lead.
That was almost like a really nice wide receiver catch, you know, but he was able to make that grab and make that layup there. Really impressive.
Oh, yeah, he mossed him. So, Jake, I know that me and you are both part of the baseball team. How do you think that's going to go this year? What's the team looking like?
No, I honestly think we have a shot at the section again this year. I mean, we're losing key players in McMasters and Frazetta, just 2 of the 5 seniors that left, but we still have a lot of our starters, you know, a lot of seniors and juniors that are going to step it up once again. And, you know, I have a really good feeling about Mustangs baseball again this year. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we're either close to the section or if we win it this year.
Yeah, our baseball team has. I was trying to figure it out with I think Jake Domkowski a couple days ago. We have somewhere around like 10 guys that are going to go play college baseball at some point, and we have Colin Selinsky, who's committed to go play at Pitt Greensburg. Johnny Iwanu, who he's going to play college ball somewhere. I don't know if he's announced officially where he's going, so I'm not gonna do that to him. Justin DeRusso is going to go play at West Virginia or Washington Jefferson. There's me, and I have an offer to go play college baseball up at Westminster, and Silvio Ainati, who I think is the best out of all of our seniors, who could go play somewhere, but he's a very smart kid and he's going to go study engineering at Purdue. And then we have a couple juniors in Brady DeJonovic, who can go play college baseball somewhere, and Caden Norcutt, and then Eric Strusenig, who's a sophomore, who I think is going to be better than all of us eventually. So this is definitely going to be a baseball team this year that's loaded with talent and should be really good.
And honestly, you know, even with a lot of the seniors leaving, we have like maybe 10 seniors. Like, we have a lot. And I truly believe Plum baseball still has a bright future, even whenever all the seniors leave. I mean, we still have a lot of starters that are juniors and sophomores, and I really think this could be a competitive baseball team for a lot of years.
Yeah, Plum baseball is just a team that has a reputation for consistently being very good. And one of the reasons because that is because before we got here, Jake, I know that they used to have senior classes of 10, 12, 13, 14 kids. They'd have more seniors than they had starting spots. So, and that's how it is this year. We just kind of got used to having a couple smaller classes for a couple years, and that wasn't the normal. That was just what we were used to because it's what we saw. But I know from a couple of my friends' brothers and who have passed through this program, it's more normal to have a senior class like we have this year than have a senior class like we used to have. So this is a team that should be able to recover after we leave, but before all that happens, I think there's a lot of winning in the baseball team's future this year. Also in Mustang sports, Vinny Citrano, who's on the wrestling team, went up and won first place in counties just a couple of days ago. Beat a nationally ranked wrestler. I believe he was ranked 6th in the country, and Vinny went out there and beat him. So congratulations to you, Vinny.
It's unbelievable how like wrestlers kind of train. You know, it's kind of crazy to me that Vinny's in the 130s right now, or at least that's his weight class. I mean, I just find that unbelievable. He's a big guy, and he's a very good wrestler. As you know, he's undefeated this year. It's just incredible.
Yeah, because of all that hard work and effort and skill that he has, he's going to go play. And I believe he has his mind made up, but again, I'm not going to do that to him, but he's going to go play at either West Virginia or Minnesota, and he's probably going to announce where he's going here sometime soon. And he's just a very talented wrestler to have offers from a Big Ten school like Minnesota and a Big 12 school like West Virginia. Those are two powerhouses in wrestling. I believe Minnesota's ranked like 12th or 13th nationally right now. And the Big Ten is just, I mean, it doesn't get better for wrestling. So to say that he has an offer like that is just, it's nothing short of crazy. And he deserves it. He's put in so much work. Vinny's been, I mean, I've known all about Vinny being a great wrestler even back when I went to elementary school with him.
Yeah, and isn't Vinny, he's going to be wrestling, a couple weight classes ahead of him in the next match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the next match we'll actually be broadcasting, I believe tomorrow night, is against Gateway. And if he sticks in his normal weight class at 132, he wouldn't have anyone to wrestle. So he said he's gonna do what he can to get a match. I think he said he's gonna have to wrestle 2 or 3 weight classes up. He's gonna go get a match because it's senior night. And I respect him for that. It's gonna definitely be significantly harder just trying to, regardless of skill, someone that's 35 pounds heavier than you is gonna have a shot to out-muscle you. So respect to him for putting his perfect record on the line.
And honestly, like I believe you mentioned, I mean, he's going to do this as a test, you know. I believe he's one of the best wrestlers in the WPIAL. If not, I think he's really up there as the best. So, you know, he's definitely going to want to put that to test because the college level is going to be significantly harder, as you all may know, and especially at a Power 5 Division I college, you know, it's going to be a lot tougher. So I don't blame him at all for trying to make the competition at least a little bit more in the strength there, as he's going to be wrestling a couple weight classes ahead of him.
Yeah, one of the things that you said about Vinny being one of the best wrestlers in the WPIAL, this year he was ranked, to start the season, I believe he was ranked the 3rd best wrestler at 132. And I believe the guy he beat in counties was the one who was ranked number 1. So, I mean, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and he just did beat the best. So, I mean, for my money, Vinny's the best wrestler in the county at 132, best wrestler in the WPIAL at that weight. As the end of the third period, or quarter no, I believe we're in a timeout. We're nearing the end of the third quarter here. With a minute left, it's a 58-24 ball game now. So at the end of December every year, we have a Make-A-Wish telethon, which is where we bring in guests and try and we interview them and try and raise as much money as we can for Make-A-Wish. And this year, we finally eclipsed $1 million in donations over the 21-year history of the Make-A-Wish telethon, which is the most that any school district has ever donated to Make-A-Wish. And that's something we take a lot of pride in here.
And that is definitely a huge accomplishment. And for this to be running, over 20 years, I mean, it's amazing how we've been able to keep this long and have been so successful, and we're able to finally reach that milestone. And it's such an honor to be the class to actually do it. And I think it's just incredible what Plum has here in the Make-A-Wish telethon. It looks like we'll see some new faces here for the Mustangs. We'll see Will Beckner, and we'll see number 34, Aiden Stallnaker, as the third quarter comes to an end. Definitely going to be kind of a juggle for the basketball there.
Yeah, it looked like a circus act there at the end of that play there. Everyone was touching the ball on that last possession.
And that is going to end the third quarter. Mustangs down 60-24 against Highlands here. And I don't know what else to say except, I mean, Plum's playing one of the best teams in the section here, and they're really showing it here. I mean, Highlands is an unbelievable team.
Yeah, the size advantage has been killing Plum all night long. I mean, with 35 long and 15, and with Kuntz, their best scorer, who's also very tall, to go along with them, they've just been 3 peas in a pod. They've been dominating the Mustangs all night long.
You know, I believe the Mustangs are very well coached. I mean, I truly believe they get the most out of their players. But for Highlands, it just seems like every player can be a point guard. I just don't know if that's the talent they're bringing up or if it's the coaching staff really developing them into a player you could really depend on taking the ball up.
We just saw the cheer team there, and the competitive cheer team actually just won their way to states a couple days ago. They're going to go up to Hershey as they proved to be one of the best competitive cheer teams in the county, or in the WPIAL. So congratulations to them, and good luck.
Yeah, it's definitely nice for a school like Plum to have all these really good competitive sports here, with a lot of really talented athletes here as well, as we've talked about before.
Speaking of good sports teams, here's Matt Diss to talk about the soccer team this year and all their successes.
So both the boys and girls soccer team had very successful seasons this year. The girls especially, if you guys watched our broadcast, we went into late November as we were filming them, and they made all the way to the semifinals for the PIAA state bracket. They unfortunately lost to Mars. I forget what the score was. Does anyone remember what the score was?
I think it was 3-2.
3-2?
Or 3-1.
It was a very close game there. And then the boys soccer, we made it to, I believe, the second round. Second round of the WPIAL playoffs, and we unfortunately lost to
South Fayette.
No, it wasn't South Fayette. Oh my God, I can't remember who it was.
West Allegheny.
West Allegheny.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah, we lost to them at the beginning of the season, and then again during the playoffs. But both the boys and girls soccer teams have been WPIAL playoff contenders. The girls team has made it to the WPIAL championship game the past 3 years in a row, and they have talent coming up, and I would predict that both teams will be extremely successful in the future. Both teams won the section, so overall the talent for fall sports has been very exceptional this year, I would say, guys.
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the football team making the playoffs for the second straight year, and as you mentioned, I mean, the soccer team, both the boys and the girls, I mean, I feel like whenever you think of Plum sports, you immediately think of soccer. I mean, every year it seems like they have a team in the playoffs, and not only that, but they win games in the playoffs. I mean, it's very fun to watch. Definitely, I'm sure, a lot of fun to be a part of. Definitely something you look forward to as a young soccer player coming to high school.
And then I think this is the first time we've actually been able to mention it live on the broadcast, would be Pat McAfee's huge donation to the athletics department. He recently signed a contract with FanDuel, and he decided to give back to his hometown of Plum Borough. He donated $2 million to the high school athletic fund for any team to use, and then I think $150,000 to each of the youth leagues, football, lacrosse, and soccer. So that money will be a huge help for the athletes who maybe can't afford a pair of cleats to compete at their best level. So that money will definitely be greatly appreciated to use over the next couple of years. Joining us now is Plum Junior and wrestler Frankie Maciosi.
How you doing today, Frank?
How we doing?
Doing pretty well, doing pretty well.
Hey, how you doing, Frank?
Good, how are you?
So we're just going to get a little in-game interview here going for Frankie. So just first off, tell us a little bit about the wrestling team, how they're doing this year.
Everybody's really performing this year. As you guys know, Vinny just pulled off a really big upset in the county finals. Number 6 kid in the nation. Nobody expected him to win that match, and he didn't listen to anybody. But other than that, the rest of the team's doing really good.
How do you think you guys are going to look going into team playoffs?
Well, depending on what happens between PT and Franklin, we may not make team playoffs.
How many teams make the playoffs then?
Only 2 from the section.
And you guys just lost to Franklin, correct?
Yep.
Have you guys wrestled PT yet?
We did. We lost to them too.
You guys only wrestle one team? Or do you guys only wrestle a team once in a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about you specifically. I know that you're injured right now. Do you think you're going to be able to come back in time for individual?
I'm hoping so, yeah. This just happened recently. The doctors were saying we need to check if it's a tear. We're hoping it's not a tear. So.
What'd you do exactly?
So a kid went to mat return me, slammed me on the mat, and I posted my arm out. My arm bent in a way it shouldn't have. And yeah, the doctor said I need to get MRI to see if it's torn. That could lead to Tommy John's. So hoping for the best.
Now I know you're also a baseball player too. If this is a tear, would that affect your baseball season too?
If I need surgery, yeah. I'm hoping to suck it up. If it is a tear, just put on a brace and hope for the best. But if the doctors are forcing me to get surgery, then yeah, it would affect baseball season.
If you were able to suck it up, as you said, and play through the baseball season, say after that's over, would you not play in the summer? I'm guessing get the surgery around beginning of June. That would probably bring you back for next wrestling season, correct?
Yeah, I would probably get the surgery. I would get the surgery, but I wouldn't be playing for summer, and I was planning on going back to football, but that wouldn't happen either.
All right. Thanks for giving us a little bit of your time tonight, Frankie.
Yeah, no problem.
This has been Frankie Maciosi, a junior wrestler.
It's nice to get a word from a current Plum wrestler. I mean, they've been very competitive this year. As he mentioned, they're flirting with playoffs, and definitely good to get some insight from someone that's an athlete for the school. Someone that is playing for one of those competitive teams.
Yeah, you're right, Jake. It was cool to finally get to interview someone different rather than the four that was on the mic most of the game.
Back to live action real quick. We have 2 minutes and 29 seconds left. 29 Mustangs, Highlands 67.
It looks like we're seeing some new faces as well. Sean Richardson checks in. We also have Andrew Thompson checks in, and Devin Curler. So a lot of new faces here.
All right, joining us now, we have Zach Ortonopoulos, a junior from the football team. So Zach, how did the football season go this year?
It went pretty good. I mean, could have done better. Only a couple wins. Lost a couple games towards the end of the year in the fourth quarter, but definitely improve and do better next year.
So continuing on with that, what would you like to improve on for next year?
Definitely playing as a team. Need to improve on defense with tackling and stuff like that. But moving up to 5A, back in the section we were in last year with Gateway, Franklin, Hampton, we're back with those teams again. So I think it'll be a little more competitive. So see how it goes.
So last year we lost, I don't even know how many seniors. We lost a lot of talent last year. How was the team able to react coming back this year?
I mean, it's definitely difficult when you lose that many seniors, especially when they're all starting too. You lose, almost everybody starting on offense and defense are seniors, so it's definitely difficult, but I think we're adjusting all right. We just need to get used to younger players starting on the line and stuff like that.
All right, so you guys were a young team this year. Again, like you said, you guys lost a lot of seniors. And especially, if someone like Eric Moore got hurt, you had Nicholas Odom who came in and started right away. How do you guys feel about this future team and what they have in store? Do you think they could be almost undefeated? I think they had one loss last year, you guys. Do you think you guys can repeat that at some point in the future?
Yeah, definitely. Some of the younger kids like Nick Odom, Darian Nelson, they're really talented, so I think they're going to be some pretty big players in the future. Yeah,
definitely. It was a lot of fun being a part of a broadcasting team to be able to commentate them. It's been unreal. Big play after big play with Eric Moore, amongst others. You guys have a lot of weapons, and even though I won't be here next year, it's going to be a lot of fun to pay attention to this team later on. You guys have a great future, I believe.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for talking to us. We really appreciate getting some of the athletes on here, getting them to talk. It's really cool to get that insight whenever we kind of broadcast them, but we don't really do this type of stuff.
Yeah, right.
So thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
All right, that was Zach Ortonopoulos, a junior football player. And as there's just over 30 seconds left in this ball game, it is 70 to 30. No, 33 now as the Mustangs just hit a three. And the Mustangs, I mean, obviously are not going to come away with a victory tonight. But, you know, this is definitely a very talented Highlands squad, as we've pointed out multiple times tonight. I mean, they definitely have a size advantage over the Mustangs. And they have multiple different shooters on the outside that are just lights out. And it was just a little bit too much for the Mustangs tonight. And there's going to be the final horn to end it. So, I mean, not really much to say, guys. Mustangs got their score doubled. Obviously not their best night. But, I mean, very good Highlands team. This Mustangs team obviously still has room to grow. Season's definitely not over yet. It's gonna be a little bit of a fight if they want to get back into the playoff race, but they can still do it. There's talent on this team. They're definitely good enough to get into the playoffs, so it's going to be a fight, but I think they can do it.
Yeah, you know, this Mustangs team really reminds me of the current Pitt basketball team. I mean, they fight really hard every game, and, you know, so far, you know, the record isn't what you want, but I really think they're competitive, and I really think they could be one of the top teams potentially in the conference as long as they just keep winning some more close games here as conference games start to pile up here.
So, yeah, as we say goodbye, it was 70 to 35 Mustangs defeat. Thank you guys for listening.